11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome on into, let's remind everybody, Unsportsmanlike Conduct, episode number 106. We are a team of two that will grow into a tripod, if you will, in just a little bit. I am Steve. I got Ant right on over here. What's going on, my friend? How's life? How's life treating you? How was your Halloween? Did you dress up?
No, I didn't even go trick-or-treating with the kids. I had to work that night. So
Wow, work. Wow.
yeah, I had to work that night.
The man always interfering.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry if I keep glancing over the Preds games on. So I'm pulling you like with the Mets around. I'm like,
yes, or a Tim at that one Ranger game where he just blurted out.
Yeah, where he's sitting there giving us the play-by-play before we can see it because we're both.
Like, the little scream that he let out. That's great.
That was great.
Live action is always fun here, and of course we'll be checking the scoreboard throughout because typically as we do our shows, we get a little blowout somewhere, somehow, and all that good stuff. Well, since we last seen yous all, NBA season has really kicked off into week 3, and NHL season obviously is kicked off. NBA, I'm sorry, the NFL is now all the way into week 10. And just like Ant, Timmy and I used to say this on every single show that we did in years past. The anticipation is growing and growing and growing. July into August, you get our picks in, we do our over-unders, and then all of a sudden it's week 10, it's November, and we're about to head into Thanksgiving in a few weeks, Ant. What the hell's going on?
The year is flown by, and I mean that without any exaggeration. I swear to God, it was January yesterday.
Yes. All right. So we'll get into all that on the other side of things. We'll start off with the NBA on the opposite of this wonderfully produced, correctly used starting opening video. Let's do it. Producer, kick us off.
Soto, high fly ball. Number 18 has pitched it through. The Florida Panthers have won the Stanley Cup. The Mets in front.
It is crazy that for as long as quick as this year has flown by, that Cody Rhodes WrestleMania moment does not feel like this year.
You're right.
It feels like way longer than that.
Now that you think about it, now that you mention that, everything this year feels like it was forever ago.
It does, which is weird because the year feels like it's gone by fast, but everything dude, do you remember the Chiefs and the 49ers played in the Super Bowl earlier this year? Because that feels like an eternity ago.
Eternity is right. All right, so let's get into some sports talk. We'll get into the NBA here real quick at the onset, and little serious situation to start us off with. Joel Embiid of the Sixers gets suspended for 3 games for his part in the altercation. His shoving of the reporter. So the story goes, the reporter mentioned Embiid's late brother, who unfortunately, obviously, lost his life in a car crash at the very beginning of his career, I believe, in Philadelphia. And then Embiid named his son after his late brother. And this reporter for Philadelphia Inquirer, I can't remember his name, but he kind of called out Embiid on his play and talked about how he dedicates his career to these people, yet you're not playing the game. For me, I'm on Embiid's side on this issue, and this issue only, you Philadelphia scum. But no, and completely on Embiid's side. Obviously, you can't put hands on people. But I mean, in that situation, you're naming my dead brother and my son in kind of the same idea of, you're dedicating your whole life and your career to the memory of your brother, to your son, whatever else. But here you are sitting out, quote unquote, kind of chilling, not playing. Ant, what's your take?
Yeah, I think in today's world, it feels weird to open a sentence like that now. In today's world, I think there's way too many people that feel that they can hide behind publications and Twitter and the internet and all these other things with things that they say. And sometimes, I forgot who said it. I think it was Chris Long had said it recently, that there's too many people that can feel like they can hide behind a keyboard because they never got punched in the mouth for something that they said or did. And I think this is just a continuation of that. This is someone who took, listen, if you're going to take shots at Joel for not playing, go for it. Plenty to complain about there, but there's no reason whatsoever to bring up his late brother, or his son in that matter. And it's awful reporting, honestly. I mean, you're literally just doing it to get a rise out of someone at that point. And it just so happens that you had to face this guy face to face, and he let you know, what's the chart? The fuck around and find out chart. I think the guy realized where he was on that chart.
Met up here somewhere.
Yeah. When those two lines intersect.
And then, he takes it a step further, and Embiid kind of says, I don't care what reporters have to say. And he says, but you do. Like, chill out, bro. Like, you're a reporter. You're supposed to maintain your professionalism, and you're doing anything but that. And what the hell is this guy's name? I was just watching about it. Anyway, no, I think it's pretty scummy of him, to be honest with you. And for me to side, on Embiid, that's saying something. And Embiid even said something. That I think it was the day prior. That he's played his. I mean, injuries are injuries. Whether or not he's sitting out to avoid, XYZ, probably. But he said that he's played his ass off for the city, and now people are starting to say, he's not giving it his all, which can be said about a lot of NBA players, by the way.
I mean, he's played on some pretty bad teams over there and played in some pretty meaningless games over there. So while I hate what the NBA has turned into with so many players taking so many games off now, at the same time, I understand that the traveling and everything else and the workout routines, and I can understand that it weighs on you. And ideally you want to save your best minutes for real games that are more meaningful than maybe a game in October.
The in-season tournament is what you're talking about.
Exactly.
The in-season tournament, yes.
Because if you just wait a month, you get the November games where the games matter. Yeah, no, I think they should just maybe cut like 10 games off the schedule and eliminate back-to-backs and call it a day. I mean, but that's a whole nother, that's a separate topic. We don't need to get into all that.
Yeah. It's a lot. I mean, we've covered that in the past, before, but this guy just took it a little bit too far here. Yeah. All right. Giannis potentially on the move. Tough start for the Bucks, led by your world famous for loving Mr. Doc Rivers and his
so overrated,
amazing coaching ability. So I'm obviously not there. Like what we heard this a few years ago. Some murmuring here and there about Giannis potentially leaving. Then he signs the extension, and now 2-3 years later, time is just out there for me. So was it 2 to 3 years ago?
It wasn't that. It was right before he signed the extension where all the rumors were that he was leaving.
Yeah.
Didn't his extension like just kick in too?
Was it? Yeah, it's that's what I'm saying. There was like 2 years left on his contract, and then they
isn't this the first year of his new contract though?
hey, that
Is
just
it?
adds to the story.
No, it hasn't even kicked in yet.
Nice.
It kicks in next year. Oh my god!
Extend me, trade
Yeah.
me before the extension.
Yeah, it kicks in next season. Next year starts his 3-year, $175 million extension. It kicks in next season. Is it 175 million? Am I looking at that right? Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that
guess.
sounds right.
Yeah, 175 million. 54, 58 and a half, 62.8.
62.8. Jesus Christ. All right. Well, so that's that. But no surprise. Is there any surprise ever in the NBA when somebody's like, "Oh, this trade's going to happen"?
He signed that deal 1 year and 2 weeks ago. October 23rd, 2023, he signed that deal.
Wait, but Doc Rivers got hired when they were like 5 games under, and he was going to turn everything all around because of his unbelievable coaching abilities and his ability to connect with the players and the stars on his teams.
Oh yeah, he's so known for that. If you look back, so the Dame trade for one just completely crippled them.
Come on, Timmy.
we're going extra long on the NBA, Tim. We got you. No, but the Dame trade. I know there was a lot of talk about that last offseason. As a Heat fan, I said numerous times on this show, as well as in our text chat, and it can be verified by all other 3 members of the chat.
100% verified.
I was totally against the Heat trading for Dame for this exact reason. I mean, he was an aging guard. He doesn't play defense. And at some point in time, the offense was going to start to fall off a little bit. And you're seeing that. But on top of all that, the other things that were mentioned is you've never seen him play with another true high-level talent before now being in Milwaukee. And since being in Milwaukee, he's really, I won't say he struggled, but you can see that it's a challenge for them to mesh on the court. And it's not at this point, it's been over a year at this point. So, there's not really any good excuses anymore. They had one full season. I get it. They didn't have last offseason together because the trade happened late in the offseason, and then they didn't work out together after the trade. But now you've had a full season and a full offseason, plenty of time to correct whatever you got to correct. And they haven't done any of that. And they don't look very good. It's just a bad roster is what it comes down to. It's funny, hindsight's 2020. A lot of us thought that Drew Holiday was, I have to call him J-Roo. Anytime I see his name, I have to call him J-Roo. The thought was that Drew Holiday was on the downside of his career, and that, moving on from him made the most sense. And he looked pretty good for Boston last year. It looks like he's fine starting off this year, and it's just a bad spot to be in. They don't have any picks. I don't think they don't have any rights to their own pick for like the next 5 or 6 years. I don't know. I think, they're going to have to trade him. I just don't know if they do it in season. That's my only thing. I think they might ride the season out and then do it in the offseason. It'll be easier to make a trade like that in the offseason, right, just because of the size of the trade. But then again, we saw a couple of years ago, Kevin Durant got traded to Phoenix. So I won't say it's impossible.
It depends on how bad this gets. Right? Right now they're dead last in the East. It's 7 games. But they're dead last in the East, and with the likes of Dame and Giannis on your team, like you said, a year into it, just being dead last, there's no excuse for it. They're 0-2 at home, 1-4 on the road. Giving up 118 points a game. It's not ideal, sir. And so the early teams, 2 of the teams that are mentioned, the Knicks and the Heat. Right off rip. As soon as the rumors came out, I want to say that I don't know if there's a ranking of it, but the Heat might be up there.
I'll make this easy. The Heat aren't trading for him.
Wait, I wanted to do that.
I'll just make
I
it
was
real.
going to
real
ask
simple. It's
you,
not going to
does
happen.
Riles have one last attempt in him?
So in one of my other group chats with a group of friends of mine that are Miami Heat fans, we had a conversation the other day. Dwayne Wade made a comment in a recent interview about how he had no intention of coming back to Miami before LeBron James called him, that he was fully expecting to go to Chicago. He doesn't say in the particular interview to play with Chris Bosh, but Chris Bosh has alluded to it previously that their plan was to unite and go play together in Chicago with Derrick Rose. And at the time, Chicago could make that deal happen and still keep a majority of their bench players around them, or the rest of their core around. They would have had a really, really good roster. Probably would have won a title, maybe. I think they had a good shot at it. They had a really, I know it's easy to forget how good they were at that time frame. I mean, I want to say that was right before Derrick Rose's MVP season, right? Or was it 2 years before?
Right before. No, it was at the right before.
Yeah. So I it's interesting to hear that. There's also been comments made so just to get to what we were end up debating about, I made a comment that I think there's a possibility that I'm starting to believe more and more now as time gets further away from it, that Pat Riley might have just been the luckiest person to be the GM of the right team at the right time. No. Seriously, think about this. It comes to the Shaquille O'Neal trade.
Hi. No arguments here. Go for it.
So we'll start with the Shaquille O'Neal trade.
I'm gonna let you cook.
Shaq and Kobe are not getting along. He requests out. Miami offers a decent package at the time: Lamar Odom, Brian Grant, Karam Butler, and I think it was 2 first-round picks. Not a bad package by any means.
Ruined
Karam
Lamar
Butler
Odom's life.
It did ruin Lamar Odom's life. Lamar Odom was
way to go,
was
Riley.
very valuable hot commodity at the time. They had stole him the year prior from the Clippers. Brian Grant was more of a
real quick on that. Phil Jackson, that was one of his first moves as the Knicks GM, bringing in Lamar Odom's cocaine.
Hey, he won a title in LA. So
there's nothing wrong with cocaine when it comes to when it was okay, like the '86 Mets.
But so he gets that trade. The real reason he gets to make that trade, though, is because the Clippers at the time were the other team that was hot for Shaq. I think it was the Clippers and the Mavericks. Excuse me, the Clippers and the Mavericks were the two teams that were they wanted him bad. They offered good packages. I don't know exactly what the packages are. I don't care to go back and look them up because it doesn't matter. But at the end of the day, the Lakers weren't going to trade him to a Western Conference team. So the next best offer they have is the offer that we just laid out from the Miami Heat. So he gets traded to Miami. That one kind of falls into Riley's lap, and he just was smart enough to take advantage of it. Great for him. Then we go to 2010. Shaq, Nick Scott Curry, and Jared Jeffries. I think Curry and Jared Jeffries was a little bit later, but I could be wrong.
Jared Jeffries, 6 years, $36 million. Never forget that.
Was that the same offseason?
I don't know if it was the same off.
I'd have to go
remember
back
how I
and
told you time is just like out there for me?
So that's 04, 05, or is that 03? That's 04, 05, yeah. Because then 05, 06, am I remembering this right? 05, 06 was his first year there. Wade gets hurt. They lose to the Pistons in the Eastern Conference Finals. And then 06, 07, they win. Do I have that right? I might have a couple of years mixed up there.
The Knicks got Eddie Curry in October 2005.
Yeah, so that would have been right before 05, 06. Yeah, so it is the same offseason. Okay. Wow.
Got
interesting.
We traded. This is what a disaster. Oh my God.
Let's hear it. Before I continue, go for
it. Chicago traded Eddie Curry with Antonio Davis and a 2007 first-round pick to the Knicks for Jermaine Jackson, Mike Sweetney, Tim Thomas, a 2006 first-round pick, which turned into LaMarcus Aldridge, 2007 first-round pick, which became Joakim Noah.
Oh my God. That's actually really bad.
A 2007 first-round a 2007 second round pick that became I don't even remember Fasenko.
So you're telling me that they could have had a front court of LaMarcus Aldridge and Joakim Noah for a decade?
Yeah.
For the time frame, that would have been really good.
Yep.
Anyways, so So he falls into the Shaq trade. We fast forward to 2010. LeBron has alluded to this previously that his plan was to go to the Knicks and to play with Melo and one other player. Who the third player was will remain a mystery unless one of them decides to say, hey, it was me, or, whatever. But that was the plan. The problem with that plan was that Carmelo Anthony grew very impatient in Denver and forced his way out early, which completely eliminated the Knicks from being able to do 3 superstars. They still could do one that offseason,
and we
along
traded
with
half the team.
Melo. Yeah, and they gutted the roster because they did have actually a decent Wilson Chandler, Dano Gallinari. I'm missing one. I'm missing one player. They had one more player in that deal that was actually decent back then at the time.
Yeah, he played with Denver for a long time.
Who was it? Who's the third player? Oh, it's gonna kill me.
Skinny.
Golly, I'm gonna look it up. But yes, they gutted the roster to make that deal. Knicks
Wilson
fan
Chandler.
TV. Wilson. No, I said Wilson Chandler. I said Wilson Chandler.
Mozgov, who signed a long-term deal there, by the way.
Oh, Raymond Felton. Raymond
Felton, who was lights out for us.
And we won't talk about the rest of the trade, which includes the eventual 2016 number 7 overall pick that turned into Jamal Murray.
Great.
The trade was rough at the time. Mozgov, while not like a great center, was definitely a serviceable big man at the time.
He was.
Gallinari was just coming into his own. Wilson Chandler was a quality wing, and Raymond Felton was playing decent basketball in the backcourt. They had to trade all of that to get Carmelo. They did get Chauncey Billups in the deal as well, but I don't really think that matters. That was late career. That was late career Chauncey. So, but yeah. So because Melo does this, it takes the Knicks out of the equation. And it just so happens that the only team that offseason that had the ability to sign actually 3 players was Miami, because the Knicks were out. They could only add one more to Melo. I'm not trying to. I'm not.
I know. I'm reliving it all in my head. The decision, where I was, what happened. I 5 years. He was going to the Knicks.
So because of this, LeBron realizes this. Hey, if I want to play with 2 other superstars, I have to go to Miami. Makes a couple phone calls, and then there we have it. Wade, Bosh, and LeBron all in Miami. Everyone makes it sound like Pat Riley did it. And I'll give him credit because he did get the cap situation situated where they were able to do that. So he does deserve credit for that. But if you really listen to what the players are saying, it doesn't sound like that was ever taken as a serious possibility until, the time came to make a decision. So he kind of falls into a second unbelievable situation that gives them 2 more titles. And
plus the Knicks attempt at getting LeBron was the Sopranos video.
I honest to God, if you guys just tell Carmelo, shut the fuck up and wait till the offseason.
See,
you could have shown LeBron a Sesame Street video and he was still going. In my honest opinion.
Let me ask you, because I my memory, but that was the year that the NBA was headed towards a lockout, and was from what I can remember, was there a reason that? And again, we're not feeling sorry for these people, but if like Melo was becoming a free agent, if the NBA locked out,
but they didn't lock out till after. But they didn't lock out. That's what I'm trying to remember. Yeah, no, the lockout happened after the big 3 had already happened, so it actually would have had no effect on his contract. I think the only difference was this might be part of it as well. Melo, by doing that, was able to get the extra year on the extension, which ended up not mattering for Bosh and LeBron, because at the end of the day, those actually ended up being sign-in trades to where they all got the extra years. They just got them as a player option. Nothing meaningful was traded back to Toronto or Cleveland. I want to say it was like some 2nd round picks and like some draft rights to a player that maybe never play. I don't know. I'm not looking it up because there's no reason to. But yeah, so basically Melo forces his way out, and that changes the whole dynamic of everything. Riley falls into the situation, and then you obviously have your track record with Riley post LeBron, which is interesting to say the least. I'll start with the two biggest trades he's made in that time frame, which are of course the Jimmy Butler trade, more recent. He did give up hardly anything to get Jimmy, so I'll give him credit for that. But at the end of the day, they haven't won anything. They do have 2 finals appearances, which I guess is worth something. But when you're the guy that patented the term three-peat, I expect more than appearances, and I think he does as well.
Yeah.
And
Well,
then of course
the Butler thing was also a product of the situation. He was another disgruntled.
more or less,
stop.
more or less forced his way out and saw a situation in Miami that he felt better aligned with what his view of basketball is.
Right.
And I'll say that in as loose a terms as possible. Not that I'm trying to say anything negative about Jimmy, but he's an interesting character to say the least.
Sure.
And the other trade being the Goran Dragic trade. And while I love Goran Dragic and he's always been a very fun basketball player, in my opinion, they probably traded way too much to get him for what he actually was. So you have, what is that? The next 10 years now. It's been 10 years essentially since LeBron left. So you have the next 10 years with 2 finals appearances and largely nothing else. LeBron goes on to win 2 more titles, one in Cleveland and one in LA, beating.
I'm having trouble grasping time right now. It's been 10 years since LeBron left Miami.
Yeah, because he was there 10, 11, 11,
14.
12, 12, 13, 13, 14, and then he left. Yeah. Yeah, it's been 10 years.
A decade. And he's still playing, by the way.
Still playing. The only one of them still playing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so
I saw a Wade statue last week.
So I saw a different angle of it. I don't think it looks as bad as the memes make it look.
Yeah, it doesn't.
But it doesn't look good either.
It's not great. It's like that's not what you unveil.
It's a fucking bronze statue. None of them look good. I mean, honestly, I've only seen like one bronze statue. I'm like, that actually looks pretty good, and it's Ed Reed's Hall of Fame bust. It's the only one I've ever seen that I'm like, that actually looks exactly like him. So, but yeah, so I think there's a case to be made that Pat Riley might be a little overrated, which will bring us back to what we were originally talking about it, which is Giannis. I don't think Miami has the pieces to make a deal happen. They would essentially have to trade Jaime Jaquez, Tyler Hero, Nikola Jovic. More than likely, they have to include the kid Ware, who was their first round pick this year, and they only have 1 first round pick to deal after that. So you're basically hoping Milwaukee will accept a package of, what is that, their last 4 first round picks or something like that,
right?
And 1 future one. I don't see that happening, and I just don't think Milwaukee is going to trade him in conference. You mentioned the Knicks. I'll let you speak on it, but I will say I don't think that's a realistic possibility unless you guys are totally bailing on Cat as soon as you're eligible to. And I don't think they're going to.
There's no reason to it. There's no reason to do that.
No, I agree.
By the way, first time seeing Cat play in person down in Miami last week. Obviously 44-16. It was a joy. It was a joy. See that man play.
He can be very good. The highs can be very high, but the lows can also be very low. So
for sure. But I'm hoping, the hometown kid right across the river, that those low times will be a little bit less. He landed on his wrist. He came out of the game grabbing his wrist. I was like, shit, here we go. And then the next day it says, Cat day to day with a sprained wrist, but he played the next game. So that's where I'm kind of going with that, where Cat, the hometown kid, gonna give it a little bit extra, a little bit more than what he would give to Minnesota. Real quick look around the NBA scores. Real quick,
I just wanted to name one team that I do think has a real possible. I know. So I read an article about teams that he could go to. It lists Miami. It lists New York. It lists Brooklyn. I'm going to say right now, I don't see Giannis wanting to go to Brooklyn. They're not close to competing, and adding Giannis does not help them compete right now. That makes no sense to me. The one team that makes makes perfect sense. They have plenty of ammunition to trade, and not only could they make this trade, and it would change. It wouldn't change as far as their roster would still be just fine. Is the Thunder. It's the easiest thing I've ever seen. They're loaded with young talent. They have a bajillion picks still. It's the easiest move I've ever seen. I think
And it's
that
the
makes the
headline.
most sense. It's a
Giannis
big
brings
headline.
championship to OKC. Durant
Something
couldn't
Kevin
do it.
Durant never could. Yeah.
James Harden couldn't do it. Westbrook
Yeah.
couldn't do it.
Yeah, and I think him and Shea make a really scary pick and roll combo. My God, the 2-man game with those two would be insane, and they have so many. It just makes sense. Like of all the teams I've heard that are listed, that one is the one where I'm like, and it would give them a team that could maybe compete with Boston, who still looks incredibly stacked right now.
Pretty damn good. And opening night got our ass kicked out there. They just I think the Warriors just went on 10-0 run. Warriors just took a 7-point lead with 46 seconds left there. The thought was that this was Tatum's revenge game for Timmy. It's in the WhatsApp chat. Revenge game out for the Olympic stuff. So that's not looking like it's turning out too well there. Celtics down by 7. The Knicks are down by I don't have the game on over here. Knicks down by 3 with 4.4 to go. This is why this keeps on coming up here.
Oh, the Warriors won. Or they're about to win. Sorry, I looked at that wrong.
Yeah, 41 seconds left.
I want to put this out into the world because I'm sure I'm not the only one that struggles. I'm not the only one that struggles with this. The ESPN app is the most dog shit app to watch sports in the history of the world.
It's not good.
If you watch it on an iPad, good luck seeing the score because it's going to be cut off from the fucking screen. If you're watching it on your TV, I hope your TV subscription sign-in works because mine works maybe half the time. And the other half time it asks me to re-sign in, and I re-sign in, and guess what? It just sits there and fucking spins for an hour.
Oh,
so
I don't ever have that
app. I fucking
on the TV. I don't have any issues with it.
It signs me out, and I don't know why. There's two TVs, 3 TVs. I watch the ESPN app on. I watch it on the TV here in the technically it's 4 TVs because I have 2 TVs in the office. So I have the 2 TVs in the office. I have 1 TV in my bedroom, and I have 1 TV in the bonus room that it's signed in on. Those are the only TVs I use it on. And it signs me out maybe they have like a 2 TV limit and I just didn't realize it, but it's fucking annoying and I'm so sick of it. I just tried to turn on the Celtics Warriors game and it said sign in, please. Fuck off. I'm not even gonna bother.
Hey, I'm the same way. I'm the exact same way. 1000%. If I gotta sign in unexpectedly, I'm done.
Oh yeah.
We got
if we weren't on the air right now, that would have just been bedtime for me. Oh, time to go to sleep.
Third leg of the tripod. Bam. Timmy T, what's going on, sir?
What's up, boys? What's going on?
What's happening? Hey, how was the movie?
The screens. Please flip the screens.
I'll flip the screen. So you're
no, not Tim. You, Steve. I need you to move Tim into his rightful spot, please.
Where's Timmy goes here.
Thank you.
Bam.
Thank you.
Anal retentive.
Almost jinxed the whole thing. It's like me not having a drink.
Yeah, I was too lazy to get the computer out, so I was like, I'm gonna go on my phone.
That's all right.
Yeah, we were just talking about Embiid getting suspended. I don't know if you heard about that with the reporter bringing up his dead brother and his son in kind of saying, "Oh, you're not doing enough to." When you say you're dedicating your career to these people and your dead brother, you're not doing enough because you're sitting on the sideline.
It's a great way to get the season started. Great.
Now that I said that again, he deserves to get his ass kicked, not just a little shove.
I would say so. Definitely.
And you know what? You say whatever you want, but he also deserved the suspension. You don't put your hand on him, but it's one of those that's worth it.
Yeah. Well, just think in the 80s, he would have punched him in the face. He wouldn't have got suspended at all. He would have just got fined.
Yeah. Exactly. He wouldn't even been ejected from the game.
Yeah.
You're in. No timeout for you. All right. The Knicks lost. Screw you, Atlanta. F. Trae Young. Lost by 5. Houston. There's our blowout. Oh, we have a couple to choose from. Houston's up by 27. The Lakers down by 19 to Memphis. We got a lot of blowouts tonight, fellas. Chicago's down by 21. And that's it. Miami, Phoenix, at the end of the first half, almost 52-50 Miami. But again, back to the game that I went to last week, Knicks and Heat. Sitting next to a buddy of mine, he said, "I've never seen so many Knicks fans. It was a lot. I felt bad for the Heat fans. It was a lot of Knicks fans there.
Probably have to go back to the 90s and the old Miami Arena days to have seen
Yeah.
that many Knicks fans at a game.
It's weird though. Even a few years ago when the Knicks were not doing so well, there's still a lot of Knicks fans. But it's been a while since I heard that arena as loud for the Knicks. New Yorkers, we always bring it, but rightfully so this time. Cat with the 44 and 16.
Well, South Florida is just South Manhattan, so it's all good.
That's true.
Yeah, but at least Florida's winning something.
All right, so that's the NBA. We'll get into some football. All right. We get started with last week a little. Well, let's get into some of the trades. Why don't we? I feel like Dallas really gave it their all at the deadline.
It's stupid.
Really went after their upper echelon talent to tell their fans. Jerry Jones says, "All right, we're in it."
How do you give up more for Jonathan Mingo?
Was
than
it
the Chiefs?
fourth round?
Fourth round pick. Well, they got a seventh back, but it's a fourth round pick. How do you give up more for Jonathan Mingo than the Chiefs gave up for DeAndre Hopkins?
Mm-hmm.
That's what they do.
Unbelievable. What was even funnier about that is that early in the day there was a report that came out that Dallas has a receiver that they've really been eyeing that they're finally going to bring in today. I'm thinking it's like a free agent off the street, and I'm like, oh, this is definitely a puff piece. And then I saw it was a trade, and I was like, oh, I wonder who they got. And then I saw it was Jonathan Mingo. I'm like, you have got to be fucking kidding me. Like, this can't be serious.
Oh man. All right. Well, the Cowboys now 3-5. They lost to Mr. Cousins and the Falcons. Falcons now 6-3, fellas. Looking good. You remember? Let take us back to weeks 1 and 2. We thought Kirk Cousins, especially after week 1, Kirk Cousins looked old and done, couldn't move around, and now he's leading. Timmy, I got a bone to pick with you.
Okay.
You know what the bone is. You just beat me in fantasy football, and you had Deebo Samuel, who's on a bye, and you still beat me.
I was sick this weekend. I woke up at 11 o'clock. I'm like, oh, I got to do my lineup. Fell right back to sleep. Woke up at 1:30. I went, shit.
Well,
yeah, got lucky with
well,
that.
Mr. Burrow, your boy Burrow chooses this week for 5 touchdowns, 5 tutties.
Thank the Lord for Joe Cool.
Did you see the video of him after he threw the 5th touchdown coming off the field like someone had kicked his dog?
Yeah.
Just completely didn't
pissed.
care.
Still pissed. 4-5.
Or how about did you see him when he went back to the bench and Jermaine Burton tried to sit next to him?
Yes,
and he actually got up and told Jermaine Burton to go away and then went and sat back down.
He's entering a different mode. Joe Burrow is. They're 4-5. They still have every chance. Not for the division, but to make the playoffs.
If you ever want to see what it looks like to have a quarterback completely elevate a team, just watch a Bengals game. Because the rest of that team's not good at all.
You're right.
And Chase isn't even playing that well, and they're just. Right.
And Higgins has been
just like, we will not lose.
Yep. All right, the Ravens whooped up on the Broncos. I think I heard it. I think it was Bill Simmons' show that may have said the Broncos that good bad team. You know, they have a decent record, but they're really not so great.
I can see that.
I started Bo Nix against you because I can't start CJ Stroud these days. I can't do it. And then in my other league, I couldn't start Burrow for a while either. I started him this week.
We said at the beginning of the season it was going to take a couple weeks.
Yeah,
so You draft Joe Burrow, you don't start him in October. And November rolls around or Halloween rolls around, that's when Joe Burrow goes in the lineup.
Can I just tell you I was set in my 3 main leagues? I had Mahomes, Burrow, and CJ Stroud. Thought it was all good, great. Here comes Mahomes with his bullshit 16-point fucking performances. That's the league that people are asking me about Justin Jefferson because hey, why not? I'm like 2-6 or some shit.
I've been late round QB here for the last several years, and it was burned me the last couple. And so this year I'm like, I'm gonna go get me a bunch of Patrick. I got Patrick Mahomes in like 3 leagues this year. I'm like, I'm spending up Rashee Rice, Xavier Worthy, Hollywood Brown. Like he's gonna be great. Travis will be fine. Pacheco's gonna be good. It took
was it Richard?
2
You
quarters.
with Richardson in our league?
No, God,
Who,
no. I would never.
I remember. I don't remember who grabbed Richardson in our league. That's another.
He got cut today. Someone cut him.
Yeah, rightfully so. What's going on? All right, let's hit your team, Ant. Dolphins lose in Buffalo, 30-27. Go for it.
Dolphins Twitter is the fucking worst place in the world. All I have seen all week since this fucking loss is how great they played. They played so great. It's such a tough loss.
They almost won.
They had such a high EPA offensively. They should have won. I don't fucking care. They lost. I don't care. I'm so sick of seeing this shit. I'm so sick of it. Oh, but they played so good. No, they lost. They didn't play great. They lost. But the offense scored 27 points. Terrific. They were only 3 points shy of it being meaningful. Yeah, I don't care. I don't care if they scored 100 fucking points if they lost. It doesn't matter. They lost. I'm so fucking sick of Dolphin social media. It's so bad. I say all that. There's a couple people on Dolphin social media that I don't hate, that are very, very nice people. And one of them I don't know personally, but he is very close friends with my father-in-law. So I'll leave the rest of it out of it. But
small world.
Very disappointing.
All right. We'll let's do rapid fire with you, Ant. I'm gonna run down the rest of the Dolphins schedule, and we see where they're gonna land. Rapid fire.
How long do you want this to last? Because I can end it right now. No, go ahead.
So they're 2-6. Timmy, you keep count of the record because I can't multitask apparently today. 2-6. Ant, next up against the Rams,
Monday night in LA,
in Los Angeles. All right,
2-7.
Following week, at home for the Raiders.
They'll win that one, 3-7.
I feel like Ant is that Dolphin fan. He wanted to say that they're going to lose, but he
honestly, at this point, they're not making the playoffs, and even if they do make the playoffs, they're not good.
Hey, spoiler alert on your picks here. Spoiler alert! Don't do that. It's rapid fire.
You're the one that fucking asked me about the Rams game. All right. No, but
okay.
They're not. I wish they would lose out. I'd just get a better pick because they're not doing anything. Just fucking lose out. I don't care. Like, who cares? What are we worried about? Someone's development? Whose development? Who? We don't develop players here.
Who is development and learning how to slide?
I'll talk about 2 after we finish the schedule.
Yeah. All right. At home against the Patriots.
Oh man. We haven't done this show in a while. I haven't had a chance to talk about how much Drake May is fucking Josh Allen 2.0. God, he reminds me so much of Josh Allen. He reminds me of early career Josh Allen.
Simmons is going to get annoying with this.
He reminds me of early career Josh Allen if Josh Allen was already completing like 65% of his passes as a rookie instead of 53 or whatever he was doing as a rookie.
He also sucked me back into my fantasy game with that touchdown to Stevenson at the end.
I really like is that in New England? No, that's in Miami. They already played in New England. It's in Miami. That's like what, the week before Thanksgiving, right? Am I picturing this right?
Yep, right before Thanksgiving.
Literally the week before Thanksgiving. I'll say win, but I don't feel good about it.
At the Packers.
So, what is that, 4-7? At the Packers, easy loss. Not even gonna.
I don't know if it's I think it might be that Sunday night game. It's an 8:20 start, so I think it's
4-8. 4-8.
At home against the Jets.
Oh, God. I still don't think the Jets are very good. Neither are we though, so I guess it doesn't matter. I'm gonna flip it. I'm gonna say the Patriots game is the loss, the Jets game is the win.
Fair enough.
They're gonna lose one of those games. Put it that way.
What's your record now?
They'll be 5-8 at that point.
All right. Then at the Texans,
Loss.
that's December 15th.
5-9.
December 22nd at home against the 49ers.
Also a loss. 5-10.
December 29th seems like a possible another Sunday night game. 8:20 start.
It'll get flexed out.
Flexed out against the Browns.
It'll get flexed out. And guess what?
In Cleveland.
This is the low point of the season. They lose to Cleveland. They fall to 5-10.
And then they go to play the Jets.
Oh, I missed a game somewhere. Or maybe is it 5-10 or 5-11?
I think it's 5-11 then.
5-11. And then that's the second Jets game.
Yep.
We've been sweeping them the last few years. But that game's going to be meaningless for both teams. By then, that's the last week of the season. That game will have no ramifications on anything. Both teams will be out of the playoff hunt. It'll be Rodgers.
Two will be out there.
Game.
Rodgers won't farewell.
Rodgers farewell game. That's if he doesn't join the Trump cabinet by then.
As what?
Who knows?
Sports
he's gonna
guru.
He's gonna help RFK run the FDA. It's a lot of acronyms in there. God, they'll win that one. So the 6-11 is where I got them at.
6-11, exactly where we had them to start the season.
Shit. Yeah, that sounds about right. 6-11. That's about how I see this season going. I could see it being 7-10, but I could also see it being 5-12. So between 5 and 7 wins. What's their? I'm gonna look it up. I'm not even gonna ask.
They're over under.
Well, what's their over under at right now? Because you could still buy in at it.
Yeah. To start the year, it was 9.5. It was to start.
Glad I didn't bet it, but I did say over.
We all, only Dave said under for the Dolphins.
Yeah. I think he wins by default.
I don't know if there was a little I don't know if there was a little trollishness.
A little of both. Little of both.
All right. So, and just to bring it back real quick, we let Ed go in first place. Ed is in first place in our picks right now by 2 games over me. Timmy, 5 games out. Dave, 6. Bruce and Ant, you guys are tied. 7 out. So for locks for this week, I guess the order is me, Tim, Ant, and Dave.
Yeah, so we can all do our locks today, and Dave can do his.
Correct. That is correct, sir. All right, let's keep on rolling here. Panthers. The Panthers beat the Saints. He's back. He's back in there.
Did you see the stat that Derek Carr is the only quarterback in NFL history to get the same coach fired in 2 different teams while he was the starter? That's hilarious to me.
Is he
Dennis Allen fired in Oakland?
No, but is he also the first quarterback to lose to all the other teams?
First quarterback to lose
except for the Raiders, because they play the Raiders later this year.
He's the first quarterback to lose. He's the only quarterback to lose to 31 teams, and he's about to become the first quarterback to lose to 32 teams.
Oh man! All right. So the once mighty Saints. Remember the first 2 weeks? 46 points a game. They're kicking ass. This guy's going nuts. And they haven't even gotten Olave involved. Now Olave almost got killed by his quarterback. Poor passing. And here we are. They have lost 7 straight. We already talked a little bit about the Bengals whipping up on the Raiders. The Chargers. I picked the Browns. Beat the Chargers. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. 27-10.
Oh, I think I
Chargers
did too.
on 5 and
3. No, I picked the Chargers on that one.
You picked Chargers. Ed picked Chargers too. That's why I'm in the position I'm at.
I just want to touch on this real quick while we're talking about teams and whatnot. There are 9 teams right now that have 2 wins. 9 seems like a lot. Which team is actually the worst?
So we have who? We have the Giants. We have the Dolphins.
I'll run it down in order. So this is what the draft order would be if the draft was today. Patriots, Jaguars.
Giants are 6th, by the way. They're the worst, tied for the worst, and they're 6th.
They're actually 7th.
There it
Patriots,
is.
Patriots,
Thanks for good news.
Jaguars, Saints, Panthers, Browns, Raiders, Giants, Dolphins, Titans. Those are the 9 teams with 2 wins.
So the worst team,
Who is the worst of those 9?
I'm gonna.
Who do you think's going to have the number 1 pick? Is essentially what I'm asking.
It won't be the Giants, that's for sure. We're
It'll
not,
be the Panthers.
not that lucky.
I'm gonna go with the
Won't you
Panthers.
say Panthers?
I'm gonna say the Saints.
Yeah, Timmy stole my thunder. I was going to lean Saints on that one. I think
We're in the same division at least.
Yeah, I think they win one more game, and that might be it for their season. They might only win one more game the rest of the way.
Yeah, that's right. The Carolina Panthers might be victorious this Sunday in Germany. The Saints got the Browns, Rams, Giants, Commanders, Packers, Raiders, Bucks.
Yeah, they win one game, and that's it.
That could
And
be.
the fact that they play, what was that, 3 teams that are also in that same cluster with them at 2 wins. Every time they lose one of those games, that just skyrockets their chances at number 1 pick.
And the Panthers, I'm sticking with the Panthers. It might be the Giants this Sunday, but they got the Giants, Chiefs, Bucks, Eagles, Cowboys, Cardinals, Bucks, and Falcons.
Damn.
Maybe
Maybe it is the Panthers. Because
the Giants, they might beat the Giants, but I don't see another.
I think you guys beat them, but then I think their only other possible win on there was the. Say it again. There was one team that stuck. Oh, the Cowboys. I think that they might be able to beat the Cowboys because I think I'm not even saying that.
No, that would make me happy.
Yeah, the Cowboys are no Dak, and I think CD's probably gonna casually sit out a few games now that their season's pretty much over.
Yeah. All right. But where were we at here? We got the Chargers. Giants lost to the Commanders. That's what the Giants do. Actually, we don't do that typically to the Commanders, but this is a different Commanders team now, 7-2. Looking pretty good in the East, Timmy.
No, it's anyone who's watching it this year. And again, this isn't, Melo's going to attack me. He thinks I'm sticking up for Daniel Jones, which I'm not. But they are way more problems than just Daniel Jones.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And it's
like on the 2-point conversion play where you got 6 guys blocking one and he breaks through.
Yeah, it's play calling. There's so many problems with this team right now. It's not even, I mean, and I feel bad for Daniel Jones. He's going to take the heat of it. He's going to take 98% of that heat and probably never fucking play in the NFL again after this year. I mean, look at his numbers. Yeah. Numbers really aren't bad.
Yeah, and then to make matters worse, you got the guy that other people would have liked to have signed. I mean, the offers were made, he just didn't accept it. Making freaking hurdling guys running backwards down in Philadelphia.
Hey, you want to hear your favorite Daniel Jones update? 2 pass attempts over 15 yards this week.
Yep.
He had 2 pass attempts over 50. One of them went for a touchdown. So that was the Theo Johnson touchdown.
Tutty.
And now Malik Neighbors is starting to pull an OBJ. We're going to have to reel him in already. He's already starting to act like a prima donna douche.
Yeah, he's got to chill out.
That team is way more than just Daniel Jones. And Debo's going to have one more year to fix it, or that's it for him.
I don't think you should give him that.
I don't know.
And you definitely shouldn't give the GM that. Sorry to say. I would not want.
You have to. Because then it's the same thing over and over again.
No, we've seen enough teams turn it over quick. You have one good draft and one good free agent run, and you're competitive again. And that's what the NFL is now. It used to take 2, 3, 4 years to really rebuild stuff. It's not like
they got to get the quarterback this year. I mean, this is. I mean, not to forecast the future, but you got some big dudes here.
Washington is the 2 seed in the NFC right now.
Yeah.
I don't think any of us picked Washington. I think all of us picked Washington's under on what, like 6.5 games this year.
Washington Fugazi.
I partially agree with that.
Yeah, 6.5. Most of us picked under.
Another thing I wanted to bring up, and I was hoping Melo would be here for this too. I was watching him when he threw up the Hail Mary. Oh my God, he did it! Oh my God, he's the greatest! Oh my God, dude, someone had to catch the ball. Had to get, I hate when the quarterbacks are now getting treated like, Aaron Rodgers. Oh, he's the greatest Hail Mary guy of all time. He just throws the ball up in the air.
He just throws the ball up. He gets it into the zone where a tip or something that could happen. But on that play, you got a guy talking shit with the crowd. Number one on one side of the field, and then how many times do you hear this every single week? Bat the ball down. Don't try and jump and tip it up. And hey, Washington played it perfectly. They had the one guy behind, which is exactly how you're supposed to do it, just in case the ball gets tipped up, and he was there.
Yep. How about the fact that the guy who tipped the ball was the guy that was talking to the crowd?
It's so bad. It's such a and to his credit, he issued an apology. My bad, because he was gonna get death threats. The Chicago fans.
Well, speaking of Chicago, they also need to look for a new head coach because Eberflus ain't it.
It ain't it. Well, it's this game really doesn't matter. We talked about a little bit of it. Only thing that May did was kind of prolong my miserable end of my betting day here. So Titans beat the Patriots. Cardinals, we just kind of mentioned, beat the Bears, put up a dud out there in Arizona. 29-20. The Eagles win over the Jags, even though the Eagles tried desperately to lose this game. 2-point conversion attempt, 2-point conversion attempt, 2-point conversion attempt. They had
someone explain to me that fumble call though.
Stop
on the Saquon one. He clearly gets his foot hit by the defender. The foot never even touches the ground again. He falls,
right,
and then the ball comes out, and they're like, he's not down.
Yeah.
Why isn't he down?
That and what was the play by the Jets dude in the end zone? How people
Malachi Corley dropping the ball before he got in.
That was great.
How
awesome was that? And I never get tired of seeing it too, because you're an asshole. You're doing that.
The fact that it has happened more than once in NFL history is insane to me. Like, it blows my mind.
Dumbass. You're so stupid. All right. Other big game was the Lions and the Packers. They Lions win by 10. That was a messy, rainy, sleet game. Jordan Love clearly not 100%, and he's got that groin issue. Could barely get up the field. I think at the latter point in the game.
It didn't even really look. I don't think the game should have even been that close, and really it wasn't. They scored late. But Detroit dominated.
One more touchdown by Goff. One more.
Oh, dude, you should have looked for the weather on that one. As soon as I saw the weather, I'm like, he's not throwing two. I actually pulled him out of a lineup when I saw the weather. I swapped him with Stafford. Worked out okay.
I hit the other three. Yeah, I did. I hit the other three. So now Packers down to 6-3, Lions 7-1. Looking pretty damn good there. Out west, the Seahawks, Mr. Geno with 3 picks, now 4-5. I hate the Seahawks. Love to see the Rams get the victory out there, 26-20. The Sunday night game, the Vikings beat the Colts 21-13. Got obviously headlining Sunday night, Sam Darnold and Gardner Minshew. That's exactly what the NFL saw coming here.
It was Joe Flacco.
Joe Flacco. Jeez. Hey, Minshew, man, they're interchangeable. And then the Monday night game, Chiefs beat the Bucks. Chiefs now 8-0, 30-24. Mr. DeAndre Hopkins had a nice little game there, huh? And the big problem is that he's opening up everything for Kelsey. Kelsey had what, 83 catches on Monday night?
14.
13, 14.
That's a
He
lot.
himself though.
He what?
He doesn't look himself, Kelsey. He looks old this year.
I
think
think
it's the
they're
haircut.
I think they're taking it easy on him here early. If you look at his routes, actually, he's not running anything more than like 6 or 7 yards downfield. Everything's short, underneath breakers, and nothing vertical. It's all underneath stuff.
Yep.
I think they're just saving him for the postseason.
Speaking of Kelsey, his brother had a situation going on Sunday. I feel like I'm going to condone violence again. Condoned it with Embiid. I'm going to condone it again.
Yep.
Why do you think it's okay to walk up behind a future Hall of Famer, first of all, an NFL player, a center, antagonizing, calling his brother, the F word for gays? You expect nothing to happen. What I really loved was there was a video that they did in reverse, and it was Jason Kelsey kindly handing a phone back to a fan who dropped the phone.
That's pretty funny, actually.
Hey,
what's even crazier?
I see nothing wrong with it. He did.
Yo, he's lucky Jason Kelsey didn't body slam his ass. He pushed him. When Kelsey went to pick up the phone, the dude pushed him. I was like, oh, he's gonna kill him.
And the other guy just other guy just wanted a fist bump. That he was recording him in front of him. But they allowed Kelsey to talk at the beginning of Monday Night Football. He didn't apologize, which
Nope.
I'm glad, because you don't need to apologize for that. Fuck that guy.
I
Timmy,
actually
I don't
fire him. I'm glad they didn't.
Oh my god, that would have been terrible. Timmy, I don't think you'll feel any different from what we kind of just said.
No, absolutely not. Sometimes it's justified. Absolutely. Who are these guys who challenge professional athletes are just so stupid?
Tim, you were not here earlier. This is what we were talking about earlier. This is because there's a generation of people that have been allowed to say things and get away with it because they never got punched in the mouth as a kid for saying something stupid.
It's true.
Dude, it's fuck around and find out, and a lot of people are starting to find out.
I had two friends, brothers, and we were hanging out, and I know I said something about their mom or something, and he squared off and jabbed me in my face. I said, "You know what? I'm never gonna say that about that guy's mom ever again."
Hey, lessons learned.
Your mom is a wonderful person. That was it. Never did it again. It worked.
Isn't it so different though? Like, I have close friends of mine that when we were kids and and we had a disagreement or something like that, like we'd just start throwing hands with each other like right away. Like, all right, here we go. Yeah. But then 5-10 minutes later, everything's fine. You're back to normal and you just move on from it. But you learn a lot. It builds character. Let's be honest. You get punched in the mouth every now and then. It builds a little character.
But that guy who was walking behind Kelsey is probably one of those guys who's on Twitter attacking this person and that person just anonymously, and then he I don't know if he felt like it was okay for him to say that, and that Kelsey's not a human being, not going to respond. I loved it. I absolutely loved it from the first time I saw it. That's great.
Yeah, that's why these guys who do the pranks are all getting their asses whooped now, and it's one of my favorite videos to watch, because again, like you said, Andy, these are the kids that don't get any discipline. They get no, and they're famous YouTube stars or whatever, and
drives me crazy.
Got shot. Other ones are getting smacked. It's like, yeah, idiots. What do you expect?
Yeah, stupid.
Walk up to that 70-year-old Marine veteran who was on fucking Iwo Jima, and you start shit with him. See what happens to you.
It's dumbasses.
So stupid.
All right. Well, what any other trades that you kind of want to bring up here? Obviously, Commanders beefed up on their side. Chiefs beefed up. The Cowboys beefed up a wide receiver. Yes.
Lions trading for Zadarius Smith. I thought that was a really good trade for them.
Huge because being the Lion. What was you guys' pick? Super Bowl.
Lions.
It was Lions.
I think Tim and I both had the Lions.
Yeah, you actually Lions Bengals for Tim. Let's do this real quick. I have Chiefs 49ers. I went missionary
Rematch.
to repeat last year.
Missionary.
Tim, Timmy had Bengals Lions. You don't know how Mr. Burrow jump off that 5. He not even phased with those 5 touchdowns. There you go.
Wait, what? Do that again. What was that? Let me see, Tim. What was that?
I don't know anything.
Oh, I thought you were showing a tattoo or something.
Oh no, ribs. I had ribs.
Oh,
Ribs.
I gotcha. Never mind.
Dave. Our
Let's hear
buddy
it.
Dave. Dave had Jets Packers.
Cowboys Jets, right?
Jets
Packers.
And then
who did he have winning?
The Jets.
Amazing.
You have Texans Lions. So
And I have Lions winning, right?
yes.
Okay.
So 3 of the 4 of us still with a potential to possibly get the matchup in the Super Bowl.
I just hate that I drank too much Texans Kool-Aid and probably should have just had the Chiefs there. But that's okay.
I remember when we were doing a pick, I said there's no reason for me to pick against the Chiefs yet. We're not there yet.
Oh, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
It's crazy because now they're winning a whole new different way. Their wide receivers are getting hurt. Let's bring in a future Hall of Famer. Yeah, did you see D-Hop?
Practically crying, talking about catching passes from Patrick Mahomes. Yes, I did.
No, but he posted on Twitter. He posted a picture of Brady hugging Randy Moss.
I did see that as well.
So that's there.
Did you that second touchdown? Well, both touchdowns were really nice, but that second touchdown, I think even Mahomes is like, oh, okay, this is what it's like having. Because even like, okay, listen, I understand he had Tyreek Hill. He's never had an X receiver that is like a bigger route runner type guy, and I think even he's like, oh, this is kind of cool.
Yeah, got a new little shiny new little toy there. All right, where's our buddy Tim? What's he doing? Car salesman, part-time rapper.
Who?
What's his name for the Chiefs? Kadarius Toney. Where's he at?
Oh, said car salesman, part-time rapper.
I know it's cool.
Last I heard, he was on the Browns practice squad.
Thought he was selling cars at Rego Park Nissan or something. It's great story. All right.
Yeah.
We were talking about the trades.
Practice squad.
Look at that. Look at that on the Browns. You can't crack the Browns.
That's actually really crazy when you think about it. They traded away Amari Cooper and they lost another receiver to injury, and they have not elevated him to the active roster yet.
That's some shit there.
And I think he's been there for like a few weeks. I don't think it's like a recent signing.
I didn't even know. I had no idea. No idea.
September 10th. Oh my god!
Get the hell out! 2 months.
He's been on. That's the whole season. He's been on the practice squad the whole season.
Let me guess. They didn't want to ruin him with Deshaun Watson throwing the football.
Unreal. Good for him.
Timmy, it's a gift that keeps on giving there.
He deserves everything he gets.
Yeah, he's the bum douche. All right. Any other trades that we want to get into here?
Yeah.
Or any? No, I don't think there's anybody else. I mean,
you mentioned the Marshon Lattimore deal. Yeah. I like that for Washington. They really needed a corner. Their corners weren't very good. He's played 24 of the last possible 41 games, I think it is. Or I think it's 21 of 42 or something like that. So, I mean, when he's healthy, he's a good corner. He's only 28. They do take on the rest of that contract after this season, which is a little rough. It felt like a bit much to trade for him, in my opinion. Was a third, fourth, and a sixth, I think is what the trade was, which is the equivalent of like a high second round pick. Just felt like a lot for an in-season trade for a corner that hasn't been. He has over the last 3 seasons, he has 2 interceptions and 14 pass breakups. Neither of those numbers are eye-popping. I understand that teams still fear him and don't throw at him as much, so that's nice. But
It's the perception. It's the perception. It's the of what he could do. It lost in all this is the now very successfully involved Magic Johnson in just all the sports.
yeah, that's very true. Best thing that ever happened to him was leaving the Lakers, apparently.
I guess so. Commanders, Dodgers out there. All right, let's do this thing. Let's get into our world famous Week 10 picks. Timmy, what you got? Last week, 11-4 for me, for Tim, for Ant. Dave comes in at 9-6. Last week, that's why he gets final lock of the week. All right, let's start it off. Thursday night football, guys. Just grab these lines right before the show started from Hard Rock Bet.
Are we
Bengals?
Are we going through the whole list and then going back to our locks?
Yes, let's do that.
Probably the easiest way to do it.
Like the idea. All right, Bengals at the Ravens. I'll start off here. Ravens screwed me 2 weeks ago on the freaking lock. So I picked the Ravens again last week on the lock, and I nailed it. So I'm going to go with not a lock, but I'm going with the Ravens this week. Timmy?
I'm going to stick with Joe Cool in the hot hand, and I'm going with the upset in Baltimore.
Bengals upset.
I am siding with Tim on this. I'm choosing the Bengals in an upset.
Oh, I put your pick under Dave. Let's not do that. All right. All right, and then in the worst possible gift to Germany, Giants and the Panthers. Giants at the Giants are now a 6.5-point favorite. Why? Because the Panthers traded away their top receiver to the Dallas Cowboys, and now it feels a little bit more lopsided. Giants is a 6.5-point favorite here. Start with you, Timmy, on this one.
I swore I would have picked them for the rest of the year, but they seem to do well overseas. And it is the Panthers, so I will break that rule. And I will actually pick the Giants to win this one.
And we continue to win. We'll just say, hey, we're heading to Europe. We're gonna play 9:30 a.m. games every week.
You guys are the new Jaguars. Play like four Germany and Europe games a year.
Daniel Jones and company rips off 14 straight in Europe.
The complete prime time, the complete opposite, and we'll be all right.
Oh man! All right, Ant, who you got in here? Giants favored by nearly a touchdown.
Yeah, I wouldn't take them with the points, but I do like the Giants to win this game.
Yes. All right. I'm with you, Tim. I guess I'll pick the Giants against who I just called the worst team in football, Panthers. So Giants sweep thus far. I'm pretty sure Dave's gonna go with the Panthers. If I had to bet. All right. Main slate of games start at the 1:00 on Sunday. Falcons at the Saints. Falcons are a 3.5-point favorite here. We start with you on this one, Anthony.
I will take the. I believe I picked them to win the NFC South, the Atlanta Falcons.
I too will choose the Falcons here. You guys just had the Saints as your worst team in football, so. Easy peasy for me here. Falcons.
Yep, Falcons sweep.
Little Falcons sweep. All right, next up, the Buffalo Bills head to Indianapolis, play the Colts. Bills are a 4-point favorite here. I am going with the Buffalo Bills, and I'll just say it here. This is my lock of the week. On the road at the Colts, Buffalo Bills. Timmy?
I shall take the Bills.
The Bills, says Timmy. And
the Bills. I will also be picking Buffalo in this one.
Buffalo sweep. This is just a sweep of the tripod, okay? Dave will chime in at a later time. Broncos at the Chiefs. Chiefs are a 7.5-point favorite here. I don't think that we're I think we're all gonna go with the Chiefs. I don't think we have to go round robin on this one. Nobody's picking the Broncos. Nobody's picking Bo Nix. All right.
That was my lock of the week.
So Timmy, you are next. So you get the next pick of the lock. You get Chiefs. I got you, kind sir. You are locked in.
This is actually going to work out really well.
Only Melo was here.
Well, the only reason I say is because the next game is going to be my lock of the week, is assuming this is the same order that's written on this list. Hey, you can't get up here. What are you doing?
Yeah. Oh, look, we got a visitor here.
Yeah.
Our guest prognosticator. Vikings 4-point favorite over the Jags. I think we start with Timmy on this one.
The Vikings.
And
Sam Darnold led Minnesota Vikings.
And as I said, my lock of the week, the Minnesota Vikings.
There it is.
So
right.
three in a row there for locks of the week.
And the Jags also two. They're one of the two victory teams.
Yes.
All right. Next up, Mr. May. Patriots at the Bears. The Bears are 6-point favorite here. Rookie on rookie action here. Ant, we start with you on this one.
I hate that you started with me on this. I actually really want to pick the Patriots in this game because I think we were talking about Fugazi teams earlier. I think the Bears are one of those Fugazi teams.
Do you have the cojones?
Fuck it. Yeah, I'm down in the standings anyway. Give me the Pats.
Give me the Pats.
Last time I said give me the Pats, remember, I was the only one who picked them to beat the Jets. And
yes,
I won.
You're 100% right. You're 1,000% right. That's the 2 weeks in a row that we you had the Patriots over the Jets, and then remember what's his name? He was on the Pat McAfee show. He was like, and we thought the same that the Jets were favored against Texans.
Oh yeah. There was a lot of people that were surprised by that.
Are you fucking shitting me? I'm gonna go with the Bears. No reason why. A couple bad coaches, 2 rookie quarterbacks. Who the hell knows? Stevenson.
The Patriots did just lose to the Titans, so it's not crazy to say this.
Yeah, and it's on the road. I feel a lot more comfortable picking the Patriots if it was at home, and it was even if the Bears are still favored by 3. But I'm gonna go with the Bears at home. Timmy.
Me too. And just because they are at home, I'm going with the Bears.
Yeah, that's a big line also for this type of matchup. All right, next up, good game on paper, at least. The Steelers head to Landover, Maryland to play the Commanders. Commanders are a 2.5-point favorite here against the Steelers. We start with me, myself, and I. I'm gonna go with Pittsburgh Steelers here on this one. Going against the Commanders. I'm gonna believe in that coaching. I'm gonna believe in Russ a little bit, not really. But I got the Steelers winning on the road here. Timmy?
Yeah, I like the Steelers because the Commanders I think are a good team, but I would put them on my top of my Fugazi list.
A little Fugazi. A little woozy, a little wazzy. Ant, who you got in this one?
I'm also going Pittsburgh in this one. Defenses travel, and I think they're going to give Jane Daniels some trouble.
Yeah. Those ribs, man. Talked about it early on. Skinny kid. Next up, the 49ers, which, depending on what you want to believe, might have a certain running back this week at the Bucks, who, you just want to call it what it is. They're running on empty when it comes to wide receivers. So I have Ant, you starting with this one.
I just started, didn't I? No, I didn't.
Did you? No, you just went last with the Steelers.
I started with the Patriots.
Don't lie to me.
I did. I started Patriots Bears, and then someone else started Steelers Commanders.
I feel like I started. All right, Timmy, you start. 49ers at the Bucks.
49ers.
Ant?
Because they're coming off the bye, I will also pick the 49ers.
49ers clean sweep because I'm going with the 49ers as well. Next up, we got the Titans at the
Sweep.
clean
Sweep.
sweep. Little Chargers clean sweep here. Timmy.
Yes.
All right. Next up, Jets and the Cardinals.
This would be my start.
This started off as Cardinals favored by 1. Now it's the Jets favored by 1.
2 more Fugazis.
I actually believe somewhat in the Cardinals defense. Not that the Jets defense is bad, but the Cardinals defense has quietly played really well this year. Well, maybe really well is a bit of a stretch. They've very much been bend but don't break. They've kept them in games, and the offense has done the rest. The running game has been really good lately. The Jets are really bad against the run. I will take the Cardinals.
Big chunks. Jets give up. For all what you just said and then some, I'm gonna go with the Cardinals too. Underdog pick now. Timmy, the two Fugazis. I'll pick one though.
I hate this game. What did you guys pick?
Cards.
I went with the Cardinals. Yeah, both of us went with the Cardinals. Screw the Jets. Little sweep there.
Let's sweep it up.
Sweep it up. 3 more games to go. The last of the 4:00 games is what was supposed to be a big NFC East battle, Timmy, of 2 teams that we despise. Eagles are a 7-point favorite at Dallas. Eagles. Little clean sweep there of the Eagles. Sunday night game. The Detroit Lions heading to the Texans in what could be, was thought to be a pretty special game. Might still be. The Texans don't have all of their air support out there, but the Lions are 3.5-point favorite against the Texans. I don't know who starts here, Ant, because we just did a clean sweep on the last one with the Eagles. I'm gonna start with you.
That's fine. Because it's an easy one. The 2025 Super Bowl champion Detroit Lions.
Lions. I think Timmy's going with the Lions too. We all know he's a
we
Lions
know Timmy's
guy.
going with the Lions.
I'm gonna go with the Lions also. Texans are down guys. Their offensive line is gonna get CJ Stroud killed within the next few games. I don't like it at all. All right, Monday night. I don't even have to ask it. And who he's going with. I know we've already talked about. You already picked the Rams.
I already announced my. The fact that this line has dropped is insane to me.
It was 3.5, and now
it's opened at 3.5. I think you sent it out at 2.5, and now it's down to 1.5.
1.5. What's happening? The stars are aligning.
What's happening is you're getting a better betting opportunity on the Rams. That's what's happening. Take the points. Go with the Rams. Or don't.
Timmy, you're gonna go with the Rams also. I'm assuming.
Ram ding dong, baby.
The ding dongs. Browns, Packers, Raiders, Seahawks, all on bye this week. Not missing a whole lot when it comes to fantasy. There, not missing a whole hell of a lot there, at all. All right. That does it for our picks. Our world famous Week 10 picks are officially in. Anything else that you guys want to cover on this slate before we hit the road, Jack?
No.
I got a really good Jared Goff stat for you.
Please do.
In the last 6 games, Jared Goff has thrown 26 passing touchdowns.
You're putting Timmy to sleep.
That's not what's impressive. The 26 passing touchdowns is not what's impressive. 6 games, 26 passing touchdowns. He only has 22 incompletions in those 6 games.
Yeah.
He has more passing touchdowns than incompletions in a 6-game stretch.
Do you want to hear another cool stat that I read right before here? I don't remember the numbers. Tony Gwynn had more assists playing high school basketball or college basketball, high school basketball, than he did strikeouts in the major leagues. Amazing.
Well, if you ever want to be completely blown away by some strikeout stats, just go look up his career strikeout numbers.
Yeah, it's especially against like Hall of Famers and stuff. But we digress here. Let's get a little round robin here
Hold
going
on.
here.
I gotta bring this up.
Timmy, on your round robin, we got to hear how the movie was real quick. Go ahead, Ant.
Between 1991 and 1996, in which Tony Gwynn played a majority of the games, he did not strike out more than 19 times in any of those seasons.
It's ridiculous. And wasn't this there's stories about all the Hall of Famers that he had, Grammatics and the Atlanta guys, where he just barely struck out against these guys. Unbelievable. All right, let's do round robin here. Timmy, you saw a movie right before here. Quick reaction on it.
Yeah, Terrifier 3, which we've been trying to see for like a month now, and something always happened. Yeah, if you've seen 1 and 2, it's the same thing turned up a little bit. Takes a couple little steps that even I think was a little too far.
Oh shit. Timmy thought it was too far. No shit.
Yeah, but it's if you like blood and gore, absolutely insanity, you'll love this movie. It's disturbing to watch though. I mean, but they're actually turning it into a storyline now, not just a clown butchering people. It's just
like its own separate thing.
Yeah, it's its own little supernatural thing to it now, which I find interesting. Yeah, I had a good time watching it, but yeah, I feel bad for the 4-year-old kid that was brought into the movie theater to watch it.
Wow,
he's probably scarred for life and will hate Santa Claus forever because it doesn't this movie. So what those parents were thinking, I do not know.
I don't know what parents think at all sometimes.
Look, I got shit for taking a 15-year-old. I can't imagine what taking a 4-year-old did.
Come on. I remember from even some of the horror flicks that I went to screenings, and people bring their kids, 3-year-old, 4-year-olds into the movie screenings. It's use your judgment, people.
Well, listen, spoiler alert, anyone doesn't want to know, cover your little baby ears. The opening scene is a girl watching him dressed as Santa butchering her whole family. That's the opening scene. It's like, really? You're gonna bring your kid to this?
Krampus is coming. Santa's not coming anymore. It's just Krampus.
If Krampus showed up at the same time as this clown, he'd be like, "Fuck, dude, I'm out of here. That guy's crazy."
All right. Okay. Good. And we were talking about it earlier. And like my perception of time is completely off, and I feel like Terrorize, like that's been out for like 8 months. I feel like now, like this year has flown by, but also has been slow as shit at the same time for some reason. All right, Timmy, thanks for that. Anything else on the way out?
I did ever see that little Christmas pageant movie. If you like cute little Christmas Jesus movies, you'll enjoy it.
Yeah, they had those fan events all over the country.
I got roped into a fan event, so I went to a fan event. I won't say why or how, but I got roped into that. But it was a cute little movie. If you like those movies, you'll enjoy that one a lot. Next time we'll talk about. I didn't get a chance to talk about the World Series yet, so I'll have to get into that next time.
Yes.
And
thanks, Dodgers.
Other stuff.
All right, Timmy. Ant, what you got here on the way out?
Not a whole lot.
The Giants defense. I see what you got going on here. All right.
I did. I was just looking at it. Yeah. I was looking at, because I didn't feel comfortable with the Bears, and their schedule fucking sucks the rest of the way after this game for Chicago. So I was just like, I get my defense out of the way early Sunday morning.
No, that's good. I like it. I like it a lot. What you got here on the way out here, sir? I got nothing. Just picking up a fantasy.
Lions Texans. That was my Super Bowl pick. We get to watch it this week.
That's true.
I feel good about my team that I chose to win. Feeling less good about the team that I chose to face them. The O-line is really, really bad. Really bad.
Yeah. There's a lot of bad O-lines out there. Might be an area of focus. When I was a young warthog, when I was a young kid, I was like, oh, what's need an offensive line for? Quarterback got a few seconds back there, you could pass it out there. But turns out all these years later, offensive line is pretty important. For me, Red 1 And you mentioned it earlier. I don't remember if it was on air or not. Red One, a Christmas movie that might wash what you just saw, out of your mind, Timmy. But it's in Tucson and Seattle and just a ton of different. I think it was on like 12 different cities: Albuquerque, Vegas, and Phoenix, Boston. All for Red One, and we have a few other movies that we'll get some stuff posted on later, not tonight, tomorrow. Just looked up at the time. All right, that'll do it for us this week. I guess let's go Giants on Sunday morning against Carolina. Who's watching that besides us? Who's watching that game?
I'm not watching it.
Who's waking up? I mean, so many different things that you could be doing. All right, that'll do it for us this week. Got our picks in. We'll wait for Dave's picks and Dave's lock at some point in the next several days, I guess. Until next time, everybody, peace out.
Soto.